What up? What up? Hype Beast. What's going on? You already know who it is. So, man, today has been a pretty, I don't want to say depressing, but not ideal day for the NBA playoffs. We started off with the Boston Celtics taking it to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks were since the playoffs started and even during the regular season, were my pick to win it all this year. I really expected a whole lot from the Milwaukee Bucks, to be honest. And I was let down. Boston took it to Milwaukee. Greek Freak had 13 points or something like that. Was completely ineffective against Boston. And it's rough. It's rough to see it. It is absolutely rough to see it. Um, and then we had this game right now. This beautiful game. Golden State Warriors and the Rockets. And the Rockets took that big L. Now, don't get me wrong, the Rockets played a pretty good game. Eric Gordon had a really spectacular game. He hit a lot of big shots, a lot of big threes. He had a lot of strong takes to the basket that resulted in either fouls or and ones. I thought Eric Gordon was almost the best player on the court for the Rockets in this game. Chris Paul did his thing. James Harden shot very inefficiently, but I mean, he's going to be the one who takes most of the shots, so it's almost to be expected when it comes to James Harden. But he did miss some key free throws down the stretch. Down the stretch, he had a bad turnover where he stepped on the line. What's up, Daily Chris? Giannis getting MVP. Well, that's the thing. I think it's already won. I think he already got the MVP because they voted already. So I think he's going to win MVP. But it's going to be tough. They're going to have to figure out Boston. They're going to have to figure out the series. It's going to look really, really, really bad if they get put out in the second round. And honestly, from watching that game earlier, a lot of things can change. They could have been rusty, but I was not impressed. As impressed as I have been watching Milwaukee play against the top teams all season and watching them, absolutely whoop the Pistons, even though the Pistons sorry. But watching that, I expected a lot. I'm an OKC and 76ers fan. That's what's up, Daily Chris. Well, that sucks, man. Well, 76 is still alive, but OKC, man, after what happened to you guys, I feel bad for you. Yeah, but as I was saying, it's rough. James Harden had a couple tough plays down the stretch, not ideal, but it happens. It was some kind of iffy calls at the end of that game. At the end of the game, first James Harden was complaining about when he took the three that Draymond Green landed underneath him, and you can't guard the three like that anymore. So, I mean, I didn't see a lot of contact. I know you can't slide under the shooter, during the shot. I know that, but I didn't see a whole lot of contact. I honestly didn't see a whole lot of contact on that situation. The one when Chris Paul got the rebound and he was trying to get to the sidelines, and I think he bumped into Clay. He ran Clay over, and I was like, "That's not a no call." Like, he could not keep the dribble. The ball went out of bounds. It's either an offensive foul on Chris Paul or it's a blocking foul on Klay Thompson. It got to be one or the other. It can't be nothing, right? That's what I was looking at on that play. That play cannot be nothing. It got to be something. It has to be something. It absolutely has to be something. Let me hit the chat real quick. Sad when Dame made that BS shot. I feel you. If you're an OKC fan, you would have to be sad because that shot was like a heartbreaker. Paul George was right with bad shot. See, when it comes to that being a bad shot, Dame Lillard pulls from out there. He pulls from out there pretty often. I don't know for him if you can consider that a bad shot, but I don't know. We'll see. Rocket 88. It's funny how Rocket players complain about fouls when Harden is the king of getting bad fouls called in his favor. I mean, and that's tough, which is interesting because your name is Rocket. Unless I'm saying that wrong, Rocket 88. I would think you're a Rockets fan by looking at your name. But I mean, that's a fair criticism because James Harden, I complain about that all season. Even though I'm rooting for him in the series, I'm rooting for the Rockets in the series. I'm always going to be rooting for against the Warriors in every single series they ever play until Kevin Durant leaves. And even probably after that. But yeah, the Rockets do benefit a lot from a whole lot of calls. They don't get the same whistle in the postseason. We saw last year, I thought they had a very, very tough whistle in the OKC series last year. I thought they had a very, 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 very tough whistle. But it's like that sometimes. This game was good, man, but it comes down to the same thing. Steph Curry didn't really impact this game a whole lot. I know at the end he was talking about I'm the one. He was banging his chest. I'm the one. I'm number one, or whatever he was saying, whatever he was mouthing. I understand he was saying that, but this game came down to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was shooting over chairs the whole game, just leaning back, shooting over a lawn chair. Chris Paul trying to guard him, shooting over a lawn chair. Iman Shumpert trying to guard him. James Harden trying to guard him. He don't even see these guys. He just leaned back on one leg with that Dirk fadeaway. You don't even see these guys, man. You don't even see them. It always bothers me that Kevin Durant went to this team. I really, really hope this is the end of Golden State after this season. I still don't think. Okay, this is my thing with Golden State. I don't want to believe that they'll win this year. I think this is the weakest version of the Golden State Warriors that we've seen in the past 3 years. This is by far the weakest version of them, right? But like with the Rockets always play them so well. I'm sure the Rockets will win some games in this series. I'm sure. I thought before the series began that they could win, but we got issues. We have issues because James Harden has not been, once again, he plays a lot worse in the playoffs every year. Every year it's the same thing. He plays a lot worse in the playoffs. He still had 35 points. He shot very inefficiently this game. Very inefficiently. He missed key free throws. He had key turnovers at the end of the games. It's not great when you're trying to knock off a Titan like the Warriors. It's not great. It's not great. And then you got to depend so much on the referees. It's not a great formula. But we'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see. Steph Curry hit a monster shot. I mean, I see somebody posting right now, Steph Curry is unreal when he hit that three over Nene. That shot wasn't that impressive. I mean, as soon as Nene came in the game, you knew he was going to be included in the action. As soon as Nene walked on the court, you knew they were going to run a pick and roll for whoever Nene was guarding. And Nene was going to either switch off on Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, and most likely he was going to get scored on. I feel like he has a little bit better of a chance against Kevin Durant if he can kind of move his feet, right? But ultimately, he's going to get beat off the dribble, and he's probably going to foul them. So you knew that. And then Steph Curry just kind of gave him a little shake, got some space, and pulled the three or whatever. He was beating his chest or whatever, 17 points. This is the thing about the Warriors, man. Steph Curry is really good, right? But he don't have to do nothing. He barely ever has to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything ever. He could just lean on, hey, I got this 7-foot dude who, dribbles like a guard or whatever, and he just leans back and shoots mid-range jumpers over everybody the whole game, and nobody can stop it. That's tough, man. That is tough. Kevin Durant, man, leave the Warriors. You got lose or win this year, you got to leave this team. It's pointless. What's the point? Nobody even respects Kevin Durant, what he does with the Warriors. Nobody cares because it's easy. You put any top player on the Warriors as they were constituted, they're going to win the championship. Any top player. Any top player. After he leaves, they're still going to be good. But, yeah, at this point, they had KD. He just leaned back on everybody and just hit 35 points easy, shooting over lawn chairs. It was literally shooting over lawn chairs. James Harden tried to guard him lawn chair. They're shooting over lawn chairs the whole game. Let's get back to the chat real quick. All right. It's funny how, let's see, where were we? Let's pronounce Rocket, but I'm not a Rockets fan. I don't like Chris Paul, and I don't respect James Harden's game. Okay. I understand that whole thing. Don't like Chris Paul. I feel you on that. Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul. I like his game. I don't like his personality necessarily. Don't respect James Harden's game. I think James Harden is good, but I think he depends way too much on the referees, and it sucks. And it shows every time he gets to the playoffs, then that ref love ain't there. He don't get the same whistle, and then he starts messing up. What if the Bucks and Golden State Warriors make the finals? So that's tough, man. Okay, if the Bucks make it to the finals, I give them a good chance because that means they, beat adversity. From the game one versus Boston, there is nothing about that game that tells me that the Bucks can win this series. Nah, they can. They obviously can. It's only one game. They could have been rusty. That's what I'm counting on. That they were rusty. They had a long layoff. They don't have experience past the first round. They could have been rusty. I'm hoping it was just rust for the Bucks. But I wasn't impressed. I was very, very disappointed watching the Bucks play after watching them all season tear teams apart, shoot teams off the floor. After watching them do that all season long, they come versus a Boston Celtics team. Kyrie Irving has a field day in the first half. He was just fading back on everybody. Nobody could even stick with him at all. And Al Horford nailed every jump shot he shot. Every time they did that pick and pop, top of the key, 3-pointers, whatever, the bottom of the net every time. That's going to be tough to beat, man. Milwaukee has a lot of work to do to figure that one out. They're going to have a lot of work to do. But if they can overcome adversity, they're going to have a tough road because one thing, the Raptors not playing. Apologize to Daily Chris because I know you said you were a 76ers fan, but I honestly think Toronto's about to make quick work of the 76ers. I don't think this is going to be much of a series. I watched the game yesterday. Toronto's better. They got by far the best player on the court in Kawhi Leonard. And then at times during the game, Pascal Siakam looks like the second best player in the series. He's not the second best player in the series, but at some stretches in the game, he looks like the second best. He has the same type of length that Ben Simmons has. Toronto has a lot. They still got Marc Gasol out there helping them out defensively and offensively. He can still pull. Serge Ibaka seems to be rejuvenated. That's the thing. Serge Ibaka blocking shots like he's back in OKC. How can he be rejuvenated? Like Toronto is going to be a low to beat in the Eastern Conference. So after watching that game, I'm expecting a much better game, and we'll see tomorrow when they play again. Maybe the 76ers will have some adjustments and stuff of that nature and be able to prove that they can hang. But man, it does not look pretty for Philadelphia. It does not look like they can compete based on that game one. But we'll see. All right, back to the chat. What's unreal when Paul George made the buzzer beater versus 76ers and got the foul over Butler? Yeah, let's see. KD got trashed when he went to Golden State. Yeah, I hope he leaves. At the end of the day, let's see. Adam Stream says, where do you think Durant will go next year? I think New York. I think New York is a good spot. I'm hoping he goes to New York. I'm not a huge Kevin Durant fan, so I'm kind of tired of watching him win championships, to be honest. And when he goes to the Knicks, I don't think. Even if he goes with Kyrie, I don't think. And I'll put it like this: Durant goes to New York. Kyrie Irving goes to New York. New York gets the number one pick, drafts Zion Williamson. That team still ain't gonna win. That team still is not gonna win. It's too many teams. Golden State, after Durant leaves, is still gonna be good. Golden State's gonna be good. You have in the Milwaukee, even if they get bounced this year, it's just going to be experience. They're going to come back next year. They're going to maybe get another piece or whatever, not a big piece, but other pieces to shore up the team. They're still going to be on top of the East next year. If Kawhi Leonard does not leave Toronto and he stays, resigns with Toronto, Toronto is going to be a beast in the East next year. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not going to dominate all these teams all willy-nilly in the Eastern Conference. It's not going to happen. There'll be probably like a 4 seed or something. Kyrie Irving, if Kevin Durant, okay. Kyrie Irving leaves Boston will take a step back, but they'll still be a playoff team. And then depending on what they can pick up to replace them, they can still be good. There's going to be a lot of good teams. I strongly reject the idea that Kevin Durant will go to New York, even if he gets another free agent that's really good to go with him. And New York is just going to tear up the NBA. It's not going to happen, in my opinion. But I do think he will go to New York. I think he got a lot of business ventures going on with the Knicks. All right, let's see. Back to the chat. Let's see what we're talking about. I'll be shocked if the Celtics win it this year. It's not that far-fetched. I mean, I think they'll have problems. If they can beat Milwaukee, I think they'll still have a lot of trouble with Toronto. I think that'll be a 7-game series for the ages. When you look at the talent on both sides of the ball. So it'll be rough. I don't see them winning it, getting to the finals, but I wouldn't completely, because somebody could get hurt. I wouldn't, and even if nobody gets hurt, they could technically get it together, because remember at the beginning of the season they were favorites, right? They could get it together and go on a finals run. I wouldn't put it past them. If they made it to the finals, I wouldn't put it past them that they could win it. They could beat Golden State because they have a lot of long athletes. They have somebody in Tatum who could potentially match the type of production that Durant does. And he's big and he's like tall, long arms or whatever. He could potentially be somebody. Durant won't just lawn chair him. He won't just shoot over him and not see him the way he did everybody tonight. He just shot over every single person who tried to guard him without even seeing him. I don't think it would go like that. Boston has people that they could throw at him. Boston has people that they could throw at Curry. Boston has people who can score. It would be a good series if Boston were to make it. So I wouldn't put it past them. Let's see. Only if Knicks get another free agent or trade the number 1 pick for AD. Now, if they get AD too, then naturally, it's probably over. Let's see. The way the Bucks, so bad. Giannis needs to be more aggressive. I think he was being aggressive. He doesn't need to be more aggressive, but I do think he was being aggressive. I think they put like what's the big bruiser down low in Boston? The Irish dude or whatever. That dude is big. Like Giannis could not move him at all, and they just parked him down there waiting on Giannis on every possession. That's gonna be tough. That's something Giannis gonna have to think about. They used to do the same thing to LeBron. You stack somebody in the middle. You take your big, you put them in the middle. You bring in your defense or whatever to crowd the paint so that there's not a clear lane to the basket, and then you make Giannis shoot 18-footers. You force him to shoot 18-footers. This is a good strategy. That's what they're gonna do. At some point, that's what it's gonna come down to for Giannis. And if he wants to be the best player in the NBA, he's gonna have to figure it out. Same way LeBron figured it out. Let's see. Paul's dirtiest player in the NBA, and Harden takes 35 shots a game and only makes 10 shots, but 20 free throws to get 50 points. And they say Kobe took bad shots. Yeah, I feel you. I feel what you're saying about Harden. I really wouldn't. There's not much I can say in defense of Harden. I don't love his game either, to be honest. I don't really love James Harden's game. I think he's good without the nonsense, without the gimmicky, the 50 million free throw attempts, without that stuff. I think he's good with that stuff. I think he's annoying, but I'm still rooting for him to try to knock off the Warriors. If you guys are new to the chat, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We're going to be doing more of these live streams during the NBA playoffs, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. All right. Back to the chat. Kawhi lockdown defense on Ben Simmons. Yeah, Ben Simmons is totally shook of Kawhi Leonard, and he has been for a while, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You can't dribble in front of him. He could technically steal the ball from you almost every possession if you make a mistake. So he's right to be scared. KD was better on OKC. I didn't like KD that much on OKC either. I mean, I found him easier to cheer for when he was with OKC. But I didn't like his. I still don't like his game. It's just he's good or whatever. Like the way I enjoy watching like LeBron, or I enjoy watching Giannis, or I enjoy watching Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, or even like to a little bit of lesser extent Russell Westbrook, Paul George, people like that. I really, really enjoy watching them play basketball because of their approach to the game, the way they play basketball. Whatever. I like LeBron because he's such a intelligent basketball player, a great playmaker. He's strong going to the hole or whatever. He does so much good stuff on the court. The amazing passes, I like Steph Curry because he can obviously shoot from everywhere. His ranges makes him a must-see TV. He has handles. He can finish at the basket. He's an underrated finisher. Giannis or whatever, he's like LeBron when he was young, except he was a little bit taller and longer. It's awesome to watch. These guys, Damian Lillard is basically like Steph Curry, except he pulls from further than Steph Curry, and he has a little bit more of an assassin's mentality. These guys are awesome. Kevin Durant, he's just really tall and he can shoot. and then he added, some ball handling skills so he can like create his own shots. It ain't really pretty to watch. Really, it's not fun watching Kevin Durant play. It's just he's so much taller. He shoots over everybody's lawn chair, so he has an advantage, and he basically uses that to his advantage as he should. I like Bledsoe, but he needs to be more consistent. Yeah, Bledsoe. I was hoping Bledsoe would be like a better version of Patrick Beverley. I've been waiting his whole career, and it just really didn't happen. He had the reputation to be like this lockdown defender early in his career. I don't know if he was ever truly, what his reputation said he was. When you watch Patrick Beverley, he actually is that dude. Like he will lock down anybody or whatever. He plays super hard. Eric Bledsoe has never been that dude. I'm not sure exactly what his game is. Like he doesn't shoot well. He's a decent enough point guard, but he's not like a great playmaker like that. He's just a big, strong guy. I don't know. Eric Bledsoe's not my favorite player. I had high hopes for him, but he kind of let me down a little bit. Hope Paul George goes to the Lakers with LeBron. He'll make the Lakers better. Paul George had his chance, man. It's all about Kawhi Leonard. If Toronto loses and it's a failed season, unless they win the championship or like go to the finals and have like a 6-game series, 7-game series with the Warriors, and there's a reasonable chance that they could win, I really don't think Kawhi Leonard is legitimately staying with the Raptors. I think he's going to go to the Lakers. People forget before last season started, when he was still going through his injury situation, he said there was the report that he called LeBron personally, saying that he wanted to team up with him in LA after LeBron had already signed. And LeBron said he was excited that he would take a lot of pressure off of him offensively and defensively. This was a report. It was all over ESPN for like a week. And, it was all over Twitter, ESPN, all the media outlets. And then it just went away and nobody ever mentioned it again. And I'm like, does that mean it's a lie? But it seemed pretty true at the time. So I don't know. And now everybody's not so sure. I'm pretty sure the plan was always for Kawhi Leonard to go to the Lakers, but hey, we'll see. Let's see. Paul George, I know he's still my favorite player. Kawhi to the Lakers. Already sub. All right, appreciate you, Daily Chris. Appreciate you. Giannis needs to play point forward more. The Bucks need to play at a faster pace and just push the ball in defensive rebound. And I agree. That's a lot of what the Bucks were doing all season to be so successful. So they absolutely need to do a lot more of that. They just have to get stops versus the Celtics. Oh, let's see. I really wish I'm from LA and a huge Laker fan, but I don't think Kawhi's coming. I feel you, Rocket, but I really do believe Kawhi Leonard is going to the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard, everybody is obsessed with talking about being the guy and being the best player on the team and all that stuff. I don't think Kawhi Leonard is built like that. If you think about it, Kawhi Leonard was very happy being, a key piece to the puzzle in San Antonio. But everybody knew Tim Duncan was it in San Antonio, right? Kawhi Leonard didn't look unhappy to me, having a generational player as the number one dude or whatever. It's another opportunity. He got this money from New Balance. When he goes to the Lakers, signs with the Lakers or whatever, he's going to get more money from New Balance. He's going to sell more shoes. It's going to be a great push for his career. And he's good enough that he's not going to get that type of criticism that other LeBron teammates get. Like Brandon Ingram got a whole lot of criticism this year. Kyle Kuzma got reasonable amount of criticism. Lonzo Ball got a good amount of criticism or whatever, but it's because they're not players yet, that they're not where they need to be yet. If it was Paul George, he would be fine there. If it's Kawhi Leonard, he's not going to get a lot of criticism because, number one, they're going to win a lot of games and they're probably going to win a championship. I actually, personally, this is my personal opinion, I like Anthony Davis as much as the next guy, but I actually prefer it to be Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's better to me. He's a better player. He's already established. He doesn't get injured nearly as much as Anthony Davis gets injured. I think Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers. And another thing, you don't have to give up anybody to get Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard can just say, hey, I'm opting out of my contract. I want to sign with the Lakers. you don't have to trade anybody for me. Anthony Davis, you have to give up the whole team to get him. So I actually prefer Kawhi personally. Let's see. Paul George is trash. He's no more than Lou Will or Eric Gordon. Hype him up to the max player and superstar. Paul George is like Kawhi light to me. He's like, or like a Jimmy Butler, you know, a rich man's Jimmy Butler. Paul George is legit. I don't think he's trash personally. I like him as a player. Let's see. How do you see the Nuggets versus the Blazers going down? I honestly think Damian Lillard is going to have a field day with these Denver Nuggets, man. Damian Lillard really proved a lot to me. Because OKC is not sorry, man. For the whole season, they were in third place. And then there was a point towards the end of the season, they were challenging for second place. Denver was starting to lose a couple games. They were like a game and a half outside of the second place. And then all of a sudden, I think it's because of the shoulder injury for Paul George, they just completely plummeted until they were at the bottom of the standings. But OKC was good all year. So knocking out OKC is not like small potatoes. That's a legit team that they just knocked out. And to me, Denver is not that legit, at least not yet. They don't play good defense. I feel like they beat the Spurs. They're what's the name? Jamal Murray was hitting some BS, to be honest. I know he's a good shooter or whatever, but that floater, I know he does the floater, but man, he had missed that a lot that game, and that one just fell at the wrong time. I thought the Spurs outplayed them. Well, one thing I can't say about the Spurs. They went to freaking DeRozan a lot in the second half of that game. I don't know, and he did not have it going. I do not understand why he was just the all-in, be-all to their season. I don't understand it. Figure something else out. Go somewhere else. Put LaMarcus Aldridge in on a pinch post or something. Let him isolate against some. Do something different, man. They just they gave DeMar DeRozan the ball at the top of the key and let him create the whole second half. For what? He wasn't even playing good. He had what, 18 points, 20 points? You gonna give him the rock every single possession? Like that's not even what Popovich does. I didn't even understand what was the point of that. All right, back to the chat. Let's see. I actually thought that for Adam Stream, I actually thought DeAndre Jordan was gonna be a buyout candidate. I don't know why the Knicks didn't end up buying him out, but I'm sure I think he is a free agent. If he's a free agent, I'm sure he'll sign for cheap. He's old. It's not going to take much money to get him. I'm sure they're going to bring back JaVale McGee too. JaVale McGee low-key had a decent season, or at least for a while. They had him playing too many minutes. He can't play that many minutes. He's just not. He got asthma and everything. He's not set up to play that many minutes. If you give him the right amount of minutes per game, he could be successful for you. But yeah, I think if DeAndre Jordan is interested, yeah, he'll be a good addition. Like Paul George over any other player. I think Kawhi's better. I mean, I think Kawhi, Paul George, and Jimmy Butler are similar, except Jimmy Butler is kind of the low end of that spectrum, and Kawhi Leonard is like the ultimate high end of that spectrum. Paul George falls somewhere in the middle to me. Alfredo, what's good, man? Happy to have you in the chat, bro. Let's see. Portland gonna win. Yeah. I don't even think I finished my thought on that. Yeah, I think Portland's gonna take that series. I think it's gonna be 5-6 games. I don't think they can sweep them, but I think they can get them in 5, to be honest. Portland's better, man. You got Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is a bad dude. He's basically Steph Curry. He can't shoot as well as Steph Curry or whatever. He's not as accomplished as Steph Curry. But if it's 2 minutes to go in a game and you ask me, do I want Dame Lillard or Steph Curry, I'm picking Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is like a straight killer. He doesn't play. He does not play. So I think they're going to destroy him. I like Jokic or whatever. I think it's cool that, somebody that big can pass that well and can shoot that well and stuff. But let's be honest, he's slow. He's like really, really slow, especially defensively. He can't play defense. He doesn't block shots. I don't see it. I don't even feel like Enes Kanter is gonna have like a whole lot of trouble defensively in this series. I think they'll be able to keep him on the court just fine because this matchup is somebody who's slower than he is. So we'll see. Let's see. I don't think they're going to trade him to the Celtics. I don't think the Celtics will trade him. If Kyrie leaves, which I absolutely believe Kyrie will leave, he's either going to go to the Knicks or the Lakers, in my opinion. If Kyrie does leave, do you really believe that the Celtics will trade a package with Tatum and other pieces for Anthony Davis on a one-year contract? I doubt it. There is no part of me that believes that. I think that's a bluff, and I think they just didn't want the Pelicans to do a deal with the Lakers during the season. That's what I honestly think. I think there is like zero chance that AD ends up in Boston. Then he could end up in New York. That would be another super team that involves Kevin Durant that irritates me because they would win. I mean, I don't see a way to beat Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. I just don't see. I mean, maybe LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, and another really, really outstanding defensive wing, and they all figure out how to play together perfectly. But I don't see it. I honestly don't see it at all. Let's see. Paul George used the Lakers' name and a poor situation we were in, in Indiana to get out of Indiana. I believe that. He just said he wants to go. Same thing with Kawhi. I mean, remember Kawhi had said he wants to get traded to the Lakers. It was just to get him out of San Antonio because he didn't trust the franchise anymore. Westbrook carries the team, and in the playoffs, the Jazz shut him down, and he scored 2 points all game while being guarded by no name. Man, Westbrook is kind of Westbrook is tough, man. Westbrook is tough. I don't even know what to say about him. I almost don't want to talk about Russell Westbrook. I lost faith in Russell Westbrook in this series, man. He really couldn't get nothing going, and then he was talking. The one game that he played well, he was beating his chest for Dame Lillard, just for Dame Lillard to come back in the next game and put him out of his misery from 37 feet. That's tough, man. That is tough. Russell Westbrook, to me, is washed up. Well, Paul George is also injured. That's one thing that you also have to remember. Paul George is injured. His shoulder looks like it was in pretty bad shape that whole series. What's my dream starting lineup for the Lakers next season? There's a lot of reports that Lonzo Ball is going to get traded, but we'll see. I'd like Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kawhi, LeBron, and some center. I don't even care who the center is. Maybe AD, but once again, even if it's AD, that's another one of those situations. Okay, if AD, Kawhi, and LeBron are on the same team, they can't be beaten. So it's almost not fair. But people will be more accepting of it because it's LeBron. Because at the end of the day, even if you don't like LeBron, everybody kind of deep down wants to see LeBron win the championship and catch Michael Jordan. Everybody wants to see that. So if Durant does it, it'll be like, more Durant. We're sick of him. But if LeBron does it, everybody's gonna be like, yay, LeBron's gonna win again. So, which I mean, I dig. Cop out like they did last year with LeBron's hand. If you're on the court, you can play. Oh, you talking about Paul George? I don't know because one thing, Paul George from three, he shot the three pretty well all season, and it really looked like he was struggling getting them shots off. But hey, yeah, if you're on the court, you can play. I guess I can see that. Dream starting lineup for the Kings. I think the Kings starting lineup is going to be exactly what it is. Fox, Buddy, you got Harrison Barnes, you have Marvin Bagley, and then you have Willie Cauley-Stein. And I think that's tough. I think that will make the playoffs next year. Yeah, AD, LeBron, and Kawhi Leonard is definitely a 4-peat, or at least a 3-peat. You can't beat that team. It's impossible. And it's not fair, but once again, if it's LeBron on it, everybody's gonna be okay with it. Yeah, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut this live stream down. Thank you for everybody who came and participated, jumped on the chat. I appreciate it. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these live streams, man, because I enjoy doing them post game. Because obviously, we got to get on here and vent, man. Let's see. Let's see this comment. Mike Bibby, Peja, Weber, Christie, Divas. Because that's the way y'all still be back in it. Yep, and that team was cold, man. That team was cold. All right, fellas, man. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. All right, and peace out.